best show for Chicago sports.
Yeah. What's good? We back. Another week of the Daily Show. Is that what we doing in this mug, man? Hey, yo. What is good, everybody? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. We are live for another week of insanity, Daily Show fun, all that good stuff, man. As today, we give our NBA playoff predictions. Unfortunately, that also includes the Chicago Bulls being in the play-in tournament. We'll touch on that a little bit as well. But we're going to go around the NBA and give our thoughts on who we think's going to come away with our NBA championship this season. Who's got the best chance? Who's going to be the most underwhelming? Because y'all know there's a couple of those teams in there as well. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily, man. Listen, it is Monday, April 10th, and the Chicago Bulls still have no answers. But we can talk about other teams finally. Let's go. Get the music. Hey, bro. You know it's bad when literally you're just like, hey, I don't have to talk about just the Bulls no more. I don't have to cover this team that much longer. And then the second that they're gone, you know, it's just like, for me, it's always just like, oh, I miss them. But man, that first week and a half, 2 weeks away from the Bulls, where like the playoffs finish out, it's just like, this is phenomenal. Like this is how the rest of the league plays basketball. Wait a minute.
You know the funny thing? You only miss them because there's no football. Everything is just the same regurgitated narrative and story for the next like 3 weeks until the draft hits. And then there's no action again until like September. So it's like, that's why you miss them. It's like, dag, we suck, but god dag, it's nothing happening right now.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us for another episode of The Daily Show, man. If you guys haven't done so, I need y'all to, because y'all be out here blowing up every other channel. I'm sick of this, bro. I seen a lot of these TikTokers, whatever they are, podcasts blowing up, man. Like, you want to blow something up, man?
Come on. Push the button. Come on.
Hit the like button. Stop playing with it.
Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. I got a name right. Push the doggone button. Stop playing with me, Pat, man. Y'all be killing me with that stuff, man. I'm going to have kids start playing that old school music. He keep threatening to do it. I'm going to let him do it one day. Hey, man, boys, the NBA playoffs are here, but we got to start, unfortunately, with the play-in tournaments to get things finally set. Let's jump straight into this because we got a lot of teams to cover in a short amount of time. We're starting this off, unfortunately, with the play-in tournament where the Atlanta Hawks and the Miami Heat, Miami Heat going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Who do we got coming out on the winning end of this, taking the 7th seed and playing in the playoffs? Pretty much just one win gets you in, right? Who y'all got coming out of this one? Because to me, I think Miami is one of the teams that nobody wants to face at the top of the East right now, just because they're actually a little bit hot and can definitely catch you. Right, like, listen, at a minimum, you don't want your first round to be, if you're Boston, I had to go 7 with Jimmy Butler.
I was gonna say, well, you know me, I got Miami. It seems like
no bias on that at all, huh?
No bias.
Oh,
no bias.
No real analysis, just Miami.
On the real though, I mean, like the last couple games, including last year's playoffs, we really pretty much boxed them up. He hasn't been shooting great against us. And he's also been turning the ball over a ton.
Who?
Trae Young.
Okay.
That's his career.
My
I
fault.
was
Yeah,
gonna say, right?
Yeah,
I thought he was talking
nah.
about somebody
Yeah.
new. It was like we talking about what Trae Young does against everybody.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he's been turning the ball over a ton. I feel like we're also at home, so you know if we slow him down early and stop him from seeing his other guys in the lane, we should be able to come out on top with that. I got Miami winning that game, but I think Atlanta gets another game. I think Atlanta gets another game after that, if I'm not mistaken. But I got
Yeah.
Miami coming out on top of that.
So you got Miami taking the 7th seed. Kid,
Yeah.
you agree with that?
Yeah, I got Miami. You know, I was never a real big Atlanta fan, and that's mainly because of I just never I didn't like Trae Young's style of play. I just don't think he has the skill. He has the skill set. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that as a volume shooter, he's very iffy, and it's a totally different type of volume shooting than Steph. I can't really explain it, but I will say this: I have them as a sleeper simply because DeJounte Murray is a beast, and he fills in a lot of gaps. So, like for one game with them, and what Clint Capella can kind of do, I don't know. I don't think it's as clear cut, but I do have Miami. I think Miami's gonna is gonna take that that W. I want them to take that W. I am being biased. I don't care, but I'm not gonna put it past them to put up a dud because I don't trust Tyler Hero. I don't trust Jimmy's cast as much. I think Trae Young has a better supporting cast. I don't like Trae Young. I don't think I would pick him over Jimmy.
Yeah.
I trust Jimmy way more, but I don't trust his supporting cast. So I think that's the beauty of this matchup to me, because I think DJ Murray, I'm gonna just call him DJ. I don't know why. Murray, DeJounte, Clint Capella. I think they could put it together real nicely, and I just for some odd reason feel like Tyler Hero and them was going to put up a dud. And then do you really want Kyle Lowry? You want to bet your play-in game on Kyle Lowry?
No, nobody does, bro.
Yeah,
he's coming on the bench. Nobody does.
He was so depressed.
BBL Lowry.
Nobody.
Larry got a strong BBL game out here. Shout out to him. There's no way you could drop that much weight in 2 weeks.
Wait.
Hey, fam, what you mean? Kyle Lowry was fat coming into the offseason, and that mo was just like, they was like, hey, man, you got to make weight or you ain't going to get that check. All of a sudden, he was 150 pounds. Ain't no way. I'm not buying it.
Nah, he made that check and got sat right on the bench.
Nah, but the one thing I will say, right, I do agree with you guys that as far as Kyle Lowry, as far as the Miami Heat being the team that's going to come out on top in this one. Listen, whether we like the supporting cast or not, I know what Jimmy Butler has an ability to do, which usually gets Bam Adebayo fired up to do enough. That's really all the Miami Heat need going into this game to me, because the Atlanta Hawks don't fit together. It's the reason that they're in this position right now. The Trae Young and DeJounte Murray experiment, to me, I said it was always going to be a question of can somebody play on ball or off ball. Clearly, Trae Young's not that good off ball. Guess what? Neither is DeJounte Murray, although he does fit a lot more. But he needs to be on ball because legitimately he's the better facilitator out of the two of them. So I think that that dynamic just doesn't work. I think Atlanta's actually heading towards an end here. I think whether the Bulls win or Toronto win their matchup, and we'll talk about that in a second, but no matter who wins that, I think both teams probably end up taking Atlanta out of the playoffs, just because I don't think that dynamic works. It hasn't worked all season. We've seen the same issues come up. Now, I will say with the Bulls, right, like the Bulls get beat by a simple pick and roll on an everyday basis, so that might be a little bit easier of a matchup for them, but especially if they face Toronto, I definitely see Atlanta outside of this thing at the end of it. Let's look at the Western Conference matchup, though, boys. Lakers, Timberwolves.
Man,
taking the 7th seed, the Timberwolves. Hey, listen, I will say this. No matter what,
it's fixed. I don't care what nobody says.
Hey, listen. No matter what, no matter how you view it, I would rather be a Bulls fan than a Timberwolves fan, bro. They gave up everything for Rudy Gobert. And this man can't even throw a good right hook, bro. Like, what was that? Like,
Y'all gotta make a
bro,
decision.
he had the reach, he had the height, he had nothing but space and opportunity, and he hit him in the forearm, bro. Like, what?
Hey, this was like this was just off of watching Izzy on Saturday knock Buddy out. Like, hey, bro,
I mean, listen,
throw a decent jab. Throw a decent jab.
he wasn't trying to, like, listen, he wasn't really trying to hit him like that. Like
Hey.
that was like a more, because they are actually friends. I mean, they were actually friends. He's not trying to hit him in his face. Like, what, like, compared to what Draymond did to Jordan Poole, Draymond just simply don't like Jordan Poole. That punch had malice. That was above the neck, off a push, trying to take your head off. If you hit me like that and we supposed to be cool, we ain't cool no more. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like hitting me in my chest or something like that. I can get with that. Like, I can see you letting that slide or whatever like that. No, we comparing one. There's a true difference between those type of punches right there. But let's just say this: the Timberwolves,
He ain't punching though.
Somebody placed the call. Let's really look at what just happened. Rudy Gobert may or may not be suspended. I don't think he should be, but he may or may not be may be suspended, may or may not. Jaden McDaniels breaks his hand, punching a wall in frustration, heading into the locker room at halftime. So he's not available at all. Everybody says Cat just got back not that long ago. At this point, do you really think the Timberwolves stand a chance against the Lakers?
No, not really.
Heck
Hey,
no.
listen,
Like,
this is a moment to me where I look at it and I'm like, all right, do we see Anthony Edwards become a god? Like, do we see Anthony Edwards become a god in the playoffs here, or in the play-in tournament here? Listen, I got the Lakers coming out with the win in this one, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't think the Lakers can also, very much like you talked about, right, the supporting cast having a dud. I'm not going to act like I don't see the Lakers having that same scenario be a possibility for them. I know what LeBron is. I think in one game, that's one of the most dangerous players you've got to face. And that makes a big difference, right? Like, he's 38 years old. He's still literally like, dang, he looked like he could play another 5 years at this level, the way he's playing right now. Anthony Davis seems like he's finally figured out, hey, I got to be one of the best players on this team, and I am going to be one of the best players on this team. I love that. Continue to show me that. And I think that they put together a much better supporting cast around LeBron, one that actually fits him. Crazy to think that you would want to put shooters around a guy like LeBron James. I don't know why anybody would ever have that idea. But now he's got a little bit of shooting around him. And all of a sudden, you've seen this team kind of turn around, not just offensively, but also on the defensive end as well. I think the Lakers take this one handedly. I think the Timberwolves are I don't want to say they're a joke of an organization, but they're an organization that's just made all the wrong moves, it feels like, to build around Ant.
I don't think they're well coached.
I don't think they're well coached either, but I also just feel like, right, like I look at the Timberwolves, and realistically, what's the kind of player that would really help the Timberwolves right now on this run? Now, it may not help you to the full extent, but your first round pick was Walker Kessler, who's averaging 10 and 10 with 2.5 blocks a game.
I don't think they need another player. I think they need better coaching and better leadership.
I think you could have kept the players you had and the draft capital and been in the same spot.
And that's why you need better coaching, because why they got Rudy Gobert made a ton of sense. Like, let's be real. They got Rudy Gobert because their premier big isn't a real premier big. Cat is not a real premier big.
Nah, he's not.
No.
Right? He's definitely I'm gonna shoot this three. I can't even say
he's the best.
He's a great 3-point shooter.
The best big man shooter.
And in history, like, he's a good 3-point shooter. He's more of an offensive guy who just so happens to be like 7 foot. He don't defend I'm not gonna say he don't defend the league, but it's like that's why they brought him there. So, like, they brought him as that defensive anchor. And if you really look at it, Rudy Gobert does his job. Like, the Stifle Tower nickname is real. He changes a ton of shots. The games he don't get a lot of blocks, he get a ton of deflections. Like, he does his job. But if you don't have the right coach putting people in the right places, it's always going to look like trash. We're looking at that now. We got a good roster or had a good roster. We look like trash because I really don't know if Billy is putting everyone in the right spot.
True.
And I think Minnesota is dealing with that handedly. Like, I think that's the main reason for them to come out looking like trash. And so I expect their coach to be fired. I expect the GM to be fired, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, Cat missed a ton of games early.
Ton of games.
Early in the season. I think that's what really got it off to like the absolute wrong foot.
And Ant-Man looked horrible to start the season.
Nah. He definitely looked horrible. It wasn't until that was like, okay, like we probably got to start running the offense through Ant in order for us to start winning these games. Until to their credit, I mean, most of the times when I've seen them, it has worked. I still don't understand why Rudy ain't averaging at least 22. I still don't understand why Rudy ain't averaging 22 and 16 with like 3.
Point guard.
You got it. Well, I mean, listen, they got him a point guard, and to be honest with you, they got him the only point guard that's ever passed the ball to.
Bro.
So listen, they went out and got Mike Conley.
Yeah, no, Mike Conley is there, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's the trade deadline, though.
Yeah, like.
I mean, listen, yeah, and listen,
that's
like you said,
that's a month and a half. You know,
they've had listen, in a month and a half, the Bulls look like a whole different basketball team.
Hey, I was gonna say,
a month and a half make a difference if you start if you got pieces playing the right way and how they should. But what I will say is this: I don't know, man. The Timberwolves are a weird one. I don't have them coming out with a win. I think their playoff. I do think they'll get another opportunity against OKC and the Pelicans, and I think they can beat either one of them. Let's move on to those playing games. We don't want to spend too much time here just on the play-in. We got a whole playoff schedule to get through here, boys. Let's start with us, though. Might as well go with the Bulls first. It's C-Red Nation out here, man. We play on Wednesday the 12th in the play-in tournament versus the Toronto Raptors, the 9th versus 10th seed. Bulls have to go to Toronto. I have no confidence in the Chicago Bulls team, but I do have confidence in one thing. DeMar DeRozan likes to cook his old team. Now, I don't believe it happened in the last game, but usually when DeMar sees Toronto, he sees some good things happening for him. I think the Bulls are coming into this with a different level of intensity. I think Pat Bev, playing Pat Bev, is that going to be a thing? We're going to start saying that now. Playing Bev. Man. Playing Bev is throwing jerseys in the stands at the end of this one. He's crying. He's hugging his mama at the end of this one. It's Chi-Town till he die. I do got the Bulls coming out with a dub versus the Toronto Raptors. I think Billy Donovan actually might be smart enough to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't start Alex Caruso in this game. Maybe I should start Patrick Williams and have a little bit of size out there going up against Pascal Siakam. But, you know, who knows? You never know. Realistically, you never really know with Billy Donovan. He might be like, hey, Javante, man, we love what we saw from you at center this season, man. We really want to see you go out there and dominate down low. Strong back to the basket game out here, Javante. What do y'all think you got here for the Bulls going up against the Raptors? Does our season end Wednesday?
I mean, is Alex Caruso sticking who is he sticking?
Pascal.
I don't know. If I see Caruso on Siakam, I'm turning the channel. I'm turning the channel.
Turn it off. And what buddy be saying?
Hey, we're gonna be on playback. You can't just turn it off.
Hey, you gonna be like, but don't call me.
Well, because of the timing of this particular game, you know, I'm gonna be late. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be there. So I'm not gonna see this game regardless. I'm gonna be watching it. I'm gonna be watching it through you all.
Y'all gotta watch that.
So now that I look at the time, so if it's a good win, I get to come back and cheer. If we don't win, I'd be like, hey, you know.
You said we.
Right. This first time kids said we. Steph, what you got?
I mean, I think realistically, like you said, I think DeMar likes to cook his old team. I honestly believe that this game is gonna come down to adjustments, which at the end of the day, I got Nick Nurse over Billy. I got Nick Nurse over Billy, 100%. And like it's gonna be the first. Who's gonna be the first person to make adjustments, and is it gonna be the right one?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, and at the end of the day, I just don't see Billy making the right moves because if I'm with Key, I can't necessarily turn it off because I'm gonna be here. Me and you gonna be here, but for Alex Caruso, it's on Siakam again. It's gonna be a long day. So
It's gonna
yeah,
be a long day, bro.
yeah, I got Toronto win that.
Do we have anybody out?
Nobody knew. Nobody except Lonzo, basically, and whoever Billy just decided not to play.
So we're fully healthy. Okay.
And listen, at the end of the day, right? I think the Bulls. Here's the thing. To me, right, offensively, the Bulls have better talent. The question's going to come down to how they're going to be able to move the basketball with all of that length that is on the Toronto Raptors. We've seen the passing be a real problem. And the one thing I will say about Billy Donovan that I do like, his adjustments in game are god-awful. I mean, like, there's times where they basically just don't exist. But usually his adjustments game to game, especially when you've seen a team as much as we've seen Toronto this year, you usually end up, right, like I don't think very often this season we went into the second game and we're like, wow, except versus Indiana. Versus Indiana, we got beat the same way every time. But more times than not, we went into the second game and we were just like, hey, okay, I see the adjustment you made here. I like that. I wish you had done that in the second half of the first game. I don't know why it took you an entirely different game for you to do that. But to me, right, I think the Bulls will be able to come out of this one with a win. I think they'll be able to attack it a little bit more. And I think the Raptors are tired of the Raptors. Like when you watch the end of the season this year, now again, right, you got Jacopoto down there, one game, maybe one game they all rally together and get it kumbaya and make it work. But man,
down there.
But man, up there, I guess. Yeah, they are above us. But I just, bro, like, I feel like the Raptors don't want to be on the Raptors no more. Like it just feels like
the Bulls don't want to be on the Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, yes, true. You gotta.
So
we got Jacopoto versus Vooch.
What are they talking about? Hey, I want to be here.
Gary Trent's really a matchup. Gary Trent's really a matchup.
Jacopoto versus Vooch. We got P. Will versus
OG Anunoby.
Then we got Alex Caruso sticking Pascal Siakam.
Well, that's if you're not gonna get P. Will. You're not gonna get P. Will and Caruso in the game at the same time.
DeMar DeRozan sticking them.
And
DeMar probably gonna be sticking them.
Van Vliet versus
Van Vliet versus Pat Bev. I can live with. I believe Van Vliet has lost that matchup more times than not, if I'm not mistaken.
And then you got Zach against Gary Trent.
Yeah.
Man, that Jacopoto thing turned it tips the scales a little bit because Buddy got footwork and he be cooking Vooch.
He's younger. He's better defensive Vooch. That's what he is. He's a better defensive version of Vooch. A little less offensive game, but a better defensive version of Vooch. And Vooch is just a better offensive player. So, like, I mean, they'll cancel each other out if we actually utilize Vooch in this game. But that also, again, goes back to your coaching staff.
You also may not even have the chance to utilize him the same way because Jacopoto stays in front and stays with Vooch really well.
Oh yeah, defensively as a center, I love it. I think Jakob's a guy I would love to have in Chicago because of his defensive ability as a center while still being able to put he really is, like, if you put him on this team, he's what we want Vooch to be, a third option. He really is. He's what we want Vooch to be, a third option with good defense.
I want Vooch to be my second option, if I'm being honest.
Well, not on this team. As we keep it pushing, boys.
We can't all have nice names.
OKC going up against the Pelicans here, trying to take that, trying to get into that next round. Who y'all got coming out of that one?
Pales.
I got OKC. I'm not gonna lie. I got OKC.
Shea out here dropping the
Like-
IG pick.
Yeah,
Hey,
bro. And
Brandon Ingram out here
can
like
we talk
KD.
about that for a second? This man IG captions have been top tier. All
I ain't been
season.
looking at him.
He was just basically like explaining how like Muggs only thought they was finna get like 10 wins this season, and then I think Jaden Williams like translated it because they was like they was sleeping on.
Yeah, because nobody knew what he was talking about. It was just like him.
And now
It's a
we
picture of
officially
him
get-
on the phone
Yeah, hey,
with a rap bar under it. It's
Yo.
like, oh, okay.
I'm like, hey, either this man got bars or like these are like very well thought out. But nah, nah, man, I got OKC. I like the way the young guys is coming around. Both the Williams duo. I should say Ben hooping, especially I believe it's Jaden that's been coming on as of late.
Yeah.
And yeah, I trust Shay in one game. Shay and Josh, I definitely trust them. In the one game, you basically playing with house money because nobody expected you to be here. But I mean, I think that's absolutely the way that they wanted it. I think it's absolutely the way that they wanted it.
I think I got to go to Pels, especially seeing as how Zion might actually play.
Who said that?
They say it's unlikely.
Oh, did they say
Yeah.
unlikely now?
It's unlikely.
well, never mind.
They say
By the way-
they're rehabbing.
By the way, it's more likely he gets traded this offseason than he plays in this game.
Oh, yeah, I see it right now. Zion not close to game action. All right, never mind. Game time decision, Jose Alvarado, EJ Liddell, of course, out. Thunder missing Kenrich Williams and Pokashevsky. Hey, I might go Pels, yeah. I might go Pels.
I'm going Pels because Brandon Ingram been looking like a young KD for the last like 10 games, dog.
Yeah, nobody's
on a
talking about
tear.
that. Yeah, he's
on a tear right now.
Yeah, no, he absolutely is.
Hey, my man's out there looking hot in the mug, but he on a tear.
Hey, he be baked every
He be
game.
baked. I don't
There's
care what
no
nobody
way
say.
he not. There's no
Hey,
way
man.
he's not high, bro.
I hasten. I'm gonna show up.
I'm
I'm gonna go home.
gonna
Have snacks in the locker
But I
room.
mean,
snacks in the locker room.
I'm going to the dispensary. I'm gonna get the snacks from the locker room.
Get my
I'm going to
game
the
check.
dispensary. I'm going home.
He not going to the dispensary. Come on, dog. He's got a guy.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
gotta
going to
get
the dispensary.
my
Brandon
sister
Ingram
rolls up.
definitely has a guy.
My man got like
Hey,
a like
wait,
10
wait.
P-rolls in a car.
Right. Yeah, I
Wait,
mean,
time
that
out, though. So
Brandon
now
Ingram.
you got the NBA trainer guy. Then you got the so you got the NBA trainer guy. You got the haircut guy. Now you just got your guy.
He's got a guy, bro. You know what I mean?
Not a league. Just got a whole guy.
B.I.'s
mean,
got
when
a
you-
guy for sure. Hey,
When
as
you
soon as
make
they
that type of money, you
soon
got
as
a
they
guy.
legalized weed in the league, bro. As soon as they was like, we ain't testing for it no more. Everybody got a guy. They just all called B.I. and was like, who's your guy? And now this guy is making all the bread. Shout out to him, man.
I mean,
Hey,
It
So-
costs him nothing to have an assistant for $80,000 a year. That just all he does is buy weed and roll.
man,
up.
you know
Hey.
Snoop. What is Snoop? Snoop dude making 6 figures, ain't he?
Hey, bro.
Something like close to it.
Snoop dude is making like
I know-
90 grand, almost 100 grand a year just to pre-roll his weed.
The only two dudes I know that do that is Snoop and Chief Keef. Like they pay somebody to roll their weed.
It's my
Chief
roll
Keef still
weed
got-
time. Don't
Chief
turn
Keef
this
still
into
got coin
dead
like
in the
that?
street time.
What? Yeah, I don't think he just, bruh. Literally, I think he just like he knows he's one of the pioneers of the game. So he just be sitting back and just.
Oh yeah,
Chilling
Keith
out,
still
man.
got bread coming.
I mean, he
Keith still got
legitly
bread.
can't come to the city. So
He can't. Nah, but
I mean,
listen,
so-
that ain't-
he
that
still
ain't
got
it ain't even on no
bread coming
op
in.
stuff. Like
That,
That
ain't
man-
stopping that man cash flow.
Hey, he
hey,
still
that
got
man
bread
is
coming in.
definitely like, or, don't he got a warrant out? Like that man ain't coming back to Chicago.
Honestly, nah, they just won't let. I think he got the Warren stuff cleared up. They just won't let him come back because he was gonna do a concert here, and they was like, "You cannot come."
Yeah.
Like CPD was like, "You cannot come. We will shut down this whole event if you show up.
Meanwhile,
You cannot come."
We still got Dirk dissing ops in every song on the low, but
Hey,
What?
but not coming back.
Hey, that man trying to get his girl back, bro.
Nah, man, he going
Hey,
through it out here. I ain't know nothing about
Hey,
that.
he gonna make a love song and still diss a op in a song. What we talking about?
I what's that?
I'm trying to find
It's
that
gonna
love, but I put a bullet in your
okay,
brain.
okay.
Wait, whoa. How you gonna sing that, dog? Relax,
It's gonna
Fetty.
be okay.
Shout out,
Okay.
shout out to Fetty Wap for being the first rapper to sing. No, well, no, I can't give him that. That's Nelly. Nelly was the first rapper to sing about running down on your block. hey, had parents and everybody
Going
singing
down,
it.
baby. Yeah.
Hey, had parents and
What is
everybody
it?
swinging it. Don't tell me you never made that connection.
Yeah. It just took me a
Hey,
minute.
come on, you know what I mean? Hey, man, we gonna keep it pushing. Shout out to y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the page. We are live Monday through Friday, 9 to 10 a.m., breaking down everything. 9 to 10-ish a.m. We always say 10 a.m. We be like, it's gonna be a hard line. And like, kids start a topic with like 5 minutes to go in the show and be like, hey, this is interesting. Be like, here we go. But
Which is interesting, the line you just brought up. Because where did I was like, hey Nelly, it sounded fire. But
Bro,
where
he
did
really
shimmy,
looked it up.
shimmy, cocoa come from in the
Hey,
middle of
bro,
that line?
hey, listen,
Like-
that man
like-
said that's that recoil. That's that recoil make you shimmy.
cocoa, what?
That recoil
Oh,
make you shimmy.
that's
Gotcha. Okay, that makes
Hey,
sense.
I don't even know if that's the real answer, but that's a
you just
bar.
capped, but it's all right.
Hey, fam, did you start your morning with a full glass of iced tea?
It's a little more than iced tea, but yeah.
Jeez, bro.
I feel like it's not. I feel like it's straight Lipton iced tea, but he been on the health kick, so now he got to act like it is.
No, it is. I got like a pre-workout and everything in it because that's what I'm gonna do when I get off the show.
That's dangerous, this man. Iced tea and pre-workout.
Hey man, listen, I'm about to hit this gym.
That's got to be scary for the bladder. Anyway, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's keep breaking down some of this NBA. All right, so I think all of us had Atlanta taking the L. Did we all have the Bulls beating the Raptors by some stretch of the imagination? You got the Bulls losing to the Raptors?
Yeah, I got the Bulls losing to the Raptors.
All right, so who?
Bulls beating the Raptors?
I got Bulls beating the Raptors too. Who do you got, Steph, coming out of that matchup? Bulls or Atlanta versus Toronto?
I got Toronto.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I
got Toronto.
I would agree with that. I don't think there's any matchup that Atlanta's going to get that's going to be favorable for them unless the Bulls just crap the bed.
Yeah.
Even though both teams do have to go to Atlanta to play, one game in Atlanta, that is going to be nuts. Like a play-in.
The Bulls got to play Atlanta. For some reason, I got the Bulls losing against Atlanta.
Because they don't stop the pick and roll.
Man,
hey, bro. Hey, that is a fact.
Man, like
that pick and roll is the fact that we can't stop a simple pick and roll is mind blowing to me on a consistent basis. Like it's just like, hey, bro, like this ain't even like a disguised pick and roll. This ain't like a delayed pick and roll. It's just a regular Clint Capella pick and roll. With Trae Young coming off the other side, and it's just like we can't figure that out. I will say that to me, drop defense is the worst thing ever for the pick and roll, and yet everybody plays it, and everyone runs the pick and roll.
Let's go into this one real quick because now the rest of the playoffs is set, and so the play-in is one of those variables. We don't know who's going to ultimately end up in the playoffs, but the playoffs that have been set. Ironically, the Nets are still going to play the Sixers, which is wild. The Nets still made the playoffs. The Knicks are still going to play the Cavs, which everyone was hoping that didn't happen. Stephen A is going to go nuts because he wanted Donovan Mitchell like yesterday. Those are the Eastern Conference matchups. Who do you got? Who do you got in those series? How do you think that's going to work out? I mean, yeah.
Philly about to roll Brooklyn.
Yeah, Philly about to roll, but
Philly's gonna get through the first round. I think you got a gentleman sweep coming there. Philly versus Brooklyn. Brooklyn just don't have enough guys outside of Mikal. I like what Cam Johnson has done there. Cam Johnson is a nice role player. The problem is the guy who's the number one over there, who's a really solid player, is probably at best the number two, at least right now in the NBA. So to me, I think that you're in a situation where you're going up against not only a number one, you're going up against one of the best number ones in the NBA and Joel Embiid, and Nick Claxton is about to get cooked. And then on top of that, right, like James Harden just coming through and literally just facilitating to everybody. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be a problem. I don't think there's much outside of that starting lineup, but Brooklyn's one of those weird teams that, I mean, they just been gutted, right? Like they got a lot of young talent, but for the most part, that Brooklyn team has kind of been gutted of anybody that you feel like would have been able to make a run in this situation. And so to me, I think that I have the Sixers gentleman sweep in that one. I think Brooklyn might get one at home, but gentleman sweep 4-1.
Yeah, I got I got Philly coming out 4-0. I mean, I like what Mikal has done, and it was crazy because when they made the trade, I think like the game after that, I asked Pat, I was like, "Yo, what you think Mikal got to do? Like now that he's on there, he's like, hey, score! Like you're the guy, and he's absolutely stepped up in that capacity. So now I'm really like fully expecting him to take off next season. But yeah, I got Philly coming out 4-0 on that. I don't see them getting the game. I think like two of the games may be competitive, but I got Philly going out coming out 4-0.
I got Philly with a series win. I got a 4-2 stack. I just solely think that
4-2
James
pretty
Harden,
competitive.
4-2. I think it's going to be 4-2. I don't look at Philly and say they're going to guarantee a sweep. One, it's a Doc Rivers team. Two, James Harden is not the same James Harden.
If they lose,
bro, did y'all see the report? I don't know.
Hey, if they lose this, Doc is done.
The Sixers organization is done. Like the process would have failed,
bro. Especially right, and you know this man finna get MVP.
Hey,
it's like it's so much riding on this series. Like if this series goes deep, you might sit there and consider firing Doc for next season. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's no way you should, but again, James Harden is not the same James Harden. Maxey is not as consistent as we think he is. He's a very, very streaky shooter. They don't use Tobias Harris the same way they should. Tobias Harris absolutely should be like a more fixture of that offense. He's not. They got the pieces. I don't trust Doc. And I think the Nets are really playing with house money. You didn't expect us to be in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs. Like not play in, we're in the playoffs. And you have people who are on that team who've been number twos most of their career with something to prove. If they win a couple of games, their reputation totally changes. They don't have to win this series at all. But if they do, imagine the type of money they're going to be looking at for their next contract, and they can just hinge on the fact that we beat the Sixers. Like there's a lot more for riding for them, to go out there and really ball. And so that's why I think it's going to be 4-2. I still think Philly's the overall better team because of Joel Embiid, but then it's health. Like, are they going to be healthy this entire series?
Yeah. No, 100%. Next series, we got Cleveland versus the Knicks.
God dang. Cleveland.
I got Cleveland too. I'm not going to lie to you.
I
will say this. My two predictions coming into the season were that Cleveland and Atlanta would both have the same issue. I was wrong on one of them. I was vastly wrong. And it's based on the fact, not that Donovan Mitchell has been this. He has been, I will give him credit as well. He's turned himself, into a much more efficient player than he was in Utah. But also the fact that when he is being inefficient, not DeJounte Murray, was Darius Garland. Is being very efficient. And when Darius Garland is being inefficient, he's being very inefficient. He's being very efficient. They have the perfect trade-off here. I think it does hurt the development of Mobley, but I mean, listen, I think you can go a long way with this to me. I got Cleveland in this one. I think this one will end up being 4-2. I think Stephen A. Smith is going to be losing his mind by the end of this series. Actually, you know what? I take it back. This one's probably going to go 7. I could see this going 7. I like Brunson. I like his addition. I think this will be competitive, which I think is going to be even worse for Stephen A. Smith. But I feel like Tom Thibodeau will have this team defensively ready for what the Cavaliers are going to bring. It will be a case of you have no answer for Donovan Mitchell in the end of it. Jalen Brunson isn't an answer for Donovan Mitchell. And I'm going to be honest with you, neither is RJ Barrett. There's nothing the Knicks have that they can throw at. Yeah. Donovan Mitchell
Brunson is going to be stuck by Garland. So, I mean, like, Garland and Brunson cancel each other out. Like, people forget that Darius Garland is a bucket.
No, Darius Garland is like that.
I'm going to say this. Go ahead, Steph. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, to me, I got it going forward too. I will say though, however, it might go 7 depending on where Julius Randle's health is at. Because I don't know if he's back yet. I know they said he would be close to back come playoff time, but we don't know what he's gonna look like. But as of right now, I do got this going 6. I think that it's Donovan Mitchell playing against the Knicks and MSG on the road. You know he's gonna try to play that villain role and go crazy. But yeah, I got the Cavs in 6 on that.
I got the Cavs in 5, and the reason why is
you think they roll them?
Look at the matchup. The Cavs match up with almost any team in the league. The Cavs match up with the Cavs and the Knicks have a similar like lineup. I just think the Cavs have a better defensive presence. I think Jared Allen is a better defender than what's my man? You just
Mitchell
said
Robinson or Julius Randle.
I think he's a better defender than both.
Yeah,
I think
Evan Mobley is that guy as well.
Yeah, like I think they have a better roster. And then on top of that, you mentioned the efficiency. You know, Donovan Mitchell has never shot over 45% until this season.
Yep.
He's at 48% for the season. He ain't shot over 35%. Well, no, that's a lie. He did shoot one time over 35% in 2021. But his 3 ball is falling, like he's more efficient. And the reality of it is, he also has more weapons around him offensively, I would say, that he's probably had in a long time. That's kind of hard to say. No, I would say that he has a better team around him.
That's accurate to say.
He got better. He got better.
Yeah, he has better. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like, and two, you can kind of see it. I was kind of I forgot who I was talking about this with, but. The fact that he's able to come on benefit from coming off of the screams from Mobley and Allen is the reason why I feel like he's shooting that much better, because the basket is legitimately wide open. I'm not saying he's like not putting the work in, but that's definitely a benefit. But I mean, yeah, just from top to bottom, they have the better team. Like they absolutely have a better team.
Is Mitch the best 2 guard this season? In
the NBA,
68 games, 28 points a game. You see what he's been doing. Put 70 on us. I mean, he's had some games. I was gonna say Donovan.
I would say still D Book. D Book missed a lot of time.
Yeah, he missed nearly 30 games.
He missed a lot of time, but I would still say D Book probably was the best 2 guard in the NBA.
With him being a close second.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's in. I'm really just trying to go through. It's weird now because it's just like who's actually a 2 guard on their team. Like I'm trying to go through all of the teams and be like, okay, but he's kind of a 3. Now especially with the Bulls, it'd be like he plays center sometimes. Like I don't know. Like
Kyrie is technically a 2.
Kyrie's technically kind of a 2, but I mean not.
If Kyrie's a 2, he's the best 2 in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you ride for Kyrie in a different manner. Pause.
Pause is crazy. I'm gonna let you slide on that, but pause.
Hey, it just is what it is. Hey, listen. I want y'all to know I was counting down the games before kids said. It's not Kyrie. Just sent the message. I knew it was coming. It took two. It took two
It took two.
games.
It took two.
It took two
It took two.
games.
Hey, I watched the game. I was like, I know what.
Hey, here's the thing. It wasn't. Here's the thing. I literally was like, it's neither of them. It's just they're such a poorly coached team. And Kid was like, nah, I think it's Luka. It's on Luka. I was like, it took 2 games for you to blame this all on Luka.
Hey, I did. I watched that game. I was like, why is Luka not getting back on defense? Why is he sitting there crying at that ref? And they all that. It's like, Luka, get back in the game, baby. What is we doing? Nah, it's Luka. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, man.
Nobody
hey, he said, I ride for my dog.
Hey,
Kid,
if
this
Zach
man
LaVine
does
gets
not
traded to
know
the
you.
Dallas Mavericks, it's Luka's fault. I'm just letting y'all know. It's
Hey,
Luka's fault.
listen, this kid, he does not know you. No. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go to our top seed, man. We got our Eastern Conference top seeds. I know we kind of got a gist, right? We all think Miami's gonna make it. If the Bucks take on Miami, I'm sorry. If the Bucks take on you said Toronto, Steph. We said the Bulls. We got this as a maybe a gentleman's sweep either way, right?
Yeah. Well, you know we didn't go West Coast on the top seeds.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let's do the West Coast first round. And here's the thing. We got like 15 minutes left. I knew we was gonna talk on this. We're gonna do this for multiple days, boys. We'll just break down the first round today. Hey, we'll get to the second round predictions tomorrow. Listen,
I'm not doing no second round predictions today. I don't even know who's gonna make it to the second round.
You know what I mean? Hey, listen, you know what I mean? We'll break this down as we go. You know what I mean? I'll change the title. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Warriors and Kings.
I'll change the title. But yeah, let's do Warriors and Kings first. Listen, it was fun, Sacramento. It was really fun.
It's like that.
Y'all had a great season, heck of a run. Because here's the thing that I need people to understand, and I think people overlook this more often than not. The too dumb to know you aren't supposed to be there doesn't always work. Actually, more times than not, it don't. It will get you a game. It may get you 2. And that's kind of what I expect for this. I expect this to go 4-2 to Golden State. But experience absolutely matters. Stephen Curry said when he went in his first playoff run, legit playoff run, he said, yo, this don't just feel like every other game. Every professional athlete that gets to the playoffs literally says, this don't feel like every other game. This feels different. This feels like, and you're not always ready for that moment. I think the Kings are an incredibly talented team. I think that this season is going to be huge for them. I actually hope that this first round goes 7 because I don't know if the Warriors are going to make the finals again, and I want the Kings to get as much playoff experience as possible. As much as I hate them for wasting Boogie Cousins' career, I kind of ride for the Kings because they had Boogie Cousins. That was my West Coast team, and they had C-Webb back in the day. Everybody loved the Kings. No lie. If you grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, you was a Kings fan. You didn't even know you was a Kings fan. You was a Kings fan.
They hated the Lakers.
You know
they hated the Lakers. They want the Kings to win. Yep.
So to me, I think that this is a very important series for Sacramento for the future, but I do think that this goes a 4-2 to Golden State.
Yeah, I got it going 4-2 Golden State. I don't think it's gonna be like as easy as everybody like making it seem.
4-2 ain't easy, my boy.
I mean, Sacramento is a tough team. I mean, like that.
Here's the thing: 4-2. I think when people hear 4-2, they think like, "Oh, that was easy." 4-2 means at a certain point it was 3-2.
Yeah.
3-2 is right there.
But I don't know. I think it's gonna be tough. I mean, I'm not just gonna magically sit up here and say that, you know, the Warriors' road struggles just somehow disappeared because they got into the playoffs.
That's a fact.
Worst. They have one of the worst road records in the league.
They got the worst. It ain't one of. It's the worst.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Hey, fam, you want to talk about night and day? Fam, that is the craziest thing this season. Like at home, their shooting percentages, defensive percentages, all that, one of the highest. On the road, it's literally the bottom of the NBA.
Yeah, which is crazy. At minimum, I could see. Yeah, they would have to close them out. They would have to close them out in 6. They would have to close them out in 6. I believe. I got it going 4-2 Golden State's way.
Ooh, could you
But
imagine it going?
I think De'Aaron finally shows out to the point. It's like, okay, we could put him up there with those upper echelon guards that we always talk about.
Now, here's the thing, though, right? If you just need Golden State, because it's not like the play-in where it's 1 and you're done, right?
Right.
They're gonna get Sacramento will get 4 at home. Golden State gets 3 at home. Golden State just needs 1 game on the road.
Yeah.
You're betting against Golden State getting 1 game on the road.
So I'm going to tell you why I think this is I'm going to make a bold pick. I got the Kings winning the series. I'm going to tell you why.
Like the beam.
Like the beam. One, it's true. Playoffs is different. If you ain't never been there, it's a different experience. But at the same time, every champion or every potential champion has had to gone through. And it's all about who leads you to help you through those moments. I think Mike Brown has done a phenomenal job.
I do.
And at the same time,
Coach
there's no better coach to help them with this challenge than one of the former coaches on the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
So because of that, I honestly feel like the Kings not only have a real chance, I think they could absolutely, I think it goes 7, and I'm not going to sit here and be surprised if they lose.
Yeah.
But like I can absolutely see it. And you got to look at the struggles the Golden State Warriors have had. Andrew Wiggins has been down for a month.
Yep.
Andrew Wiggins, I don't care what, a little longer than that, dealing with some with his father, I think. Whatever case is. First off, shout out to all those people. Like, no, not shout out. Shame on all those fans that made up those rumors. If they were legitimately rumors, like that's crazy. This man's dealing with his dad.
That's the wild part.
That's
is
wild.
The fact that it started on a TikTok and Muzz just ran with it.
That's wild.
Like I saw it and I was just
y'all.
like, if the reports are true, that's crazy.
But if it ain't,
y'all are wild.
That ran for like weeks off of that. Like that's crazy.
Now they ran with
Anyway,
that for like a month.
yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, like shame on, but Andrew Wiggins was the reason why they had a chance last season. Like if Andrew Wiggins don't show up the way he shows up, I don't care how many points Steph put on the board. They don't win that series against the Celtics. Like he was a real X factor. So him not being there, how much time does he have to ramp up and stuff like that? Because the Kings are gonna be ready. Like I believe the Kings are gonna be ready.
What I will say is that what you realistically need Andrew Wiggins for the most is
guard De'Aaron.
defense. And
is he gonna be ready?
Listen, defense is one of those things where you can come back. Like your shot is the thing that usually takes the longest time for you to get back in tune with. Defense is one of those things where it's like, hey, listen, I need you to go out there. I need you to give me 25 minutes of solid defense. I need you to be a clamp. He's going to know how to shuffle his feet. He knows where to be defensively in that system. The defensive system didn't change, right? It's just about plugging him back in. Defensively, I think he'll be fine, which is the part where I'm looking at and I'm saying, if you're going into this series and you're saying, Andrew Wiggins, we need you to give us 25 plus a game, you already lost.
Yeah.
Like you already lost because, like you said, he's been out of out. Even if you need him to give you 20, right? Like you shouldn't be going into this series looking for Andrew Wiggins to score.
They need his average. They need his average. They need that 18-20 ball.
I will say, just getting back to De'Aaron Fox real quick. I know how we like to call DeMar DeRozan Mr. Fourth Quarter. De'Aaron Fox has absolutely been that guy in the last couple minutes slash overtime this year.
Us.
Yeah,
he gamed us. So like,
did he game us?
He gamed us.
Hey, me and Kia texted about this. The same spot that Tyrese Halliburton hit that shot.
He gamed us.
He was like, "Oh,
that's right. Oh yeah, that one
and
hurt."
then looked at the camera and said,
"I'm really that guy."
it's not even close. Hey, I'm glad we saved this the best for last though.
I will say this caveat. They are one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA.
Oh yeah,
With the Kings.
The Kings are one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. They're the best offense, but they are literally one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. I believe their defense ranks like 28th in the league.
That's pretty bad.
so
Don't get worse
you also have to like stop Stephen Curry, right? Like I get what you said about Mike Brown and stuff like that. Like he's gonna be a great asset for them, but you can know all you want what Steph is gonna do. You still got to stop.
Who is Steph going to stop?
Oh, listen, nobody. but
so
but
you're going to score this side. I'm going to score too. I'll race you to 115 and see who wins. Like that's what happens.
Hey,
like,
listen. Hey, many teams have tried. Many have lost that race. Many teams have tried. Many have lost that race.
Saved the best for last, guys. The Clippers versus the Suns. KD versus Russ. We got the old clip. We got a whole bunch of storylines. We got Chris Paul's old team. We got Kawhi finally. We got like all the storylines you really want outside of KD versus LeBron. Like we got all that in this series.
Which apparently they'll just never play each other again.
Bro, they haven't played each other in 4 years, bro.
That's sad.
5.
Welcome to your modern
this is
NBA.
The 5th year. The last time they played was
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Dog.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Shout out to Luka. Shout out to Ja Morant. Shout out to this entire next generation of players for seeing the dude on the other side of the court and saying, I want to beat him. Because we've been deprived of that for a long time with this all flowers to LeBron, all flowers to everything he accomplished. But they absolutely were a generation of players that wanted to see the easiest path. That to me, I'm so glad that it's not to say that you want to see your youth come to an end, but I'm actually glad that this is all coming to an end because like there was no pride taken in playing the player across from you. There was no pride in, hey, I've got to beat the guy standing across from me, or I'm gonna guard the best guy coming in. Right? Like Kobe was like, fam, like and not the like era and all of that, but like Kobe literally would just be like, LeBron's on the other side. I'm guarding LeBron in the fourth quarter. It must be like, oh, well, like, but he's bigger than you. I'm guarding LeBron in the fourth quarter.
He guarded LeBron.
And he guarded LeBron in the fourth quarter. Like, I can't, it's just weird. And I get it, right? Like, sizing and matchup is different. Like, I don't want to see, a point guard guarding, like, a center because it's the star matchup. But the fact that, like, we got to see LeBron versus KD all up until KD lost in OKC, and that was pretty much the end of it. And like one game of the finals. That's all we got, right? It's just the one game of the finals. No, I guess we got the one series.
Nah, we got a series.
But they didn't even cover each other in that series, really. Brian didn't really guard KD in that series.
In Golden State, he did. He just got beat.
Yeah.
Did he guard KD a lot in that series? I gotta go back and look at that one.
KD guarded LeBron. I mean, it wasn't the whole game. Don't mind. I'm not gonna make that claim, but like they had a nice little segment.
I gotta go back and look at that one. I gotta go back.
By the time they did that, I mean, KD was already on one, and it was just a wrap.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So,
I don't know, but anyway, yeah, all the storylines of the world, man. We got KD versus Kawhi. Kawhi, who actually does a pretty good job against Kevin Durant. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is probably the nightmare scenario for Phoenix because you're going up against the team that has depth, that has Kawhi, who guards Kevin Durant really, really well. That has probably 6 or 7 guys that can give you 10 plus, which is all you need when you also have Kawhi Leonard. And has. I'd say the coaching matchup is a little more even. I don't think I'd go Ty Lue over Monty Williams. I don't know if I'd go Ty Lue.
Monty?
I don't know if I'd go Ty Lue over Monty Williams.
Yes, Ty Lue's
No, I can't.
Ty Lue's a better coach than Monty.
I think this series.
Ty Lue would have DeAndre Ayton looking like an all-star out here, like legitimate all-star. He would put him in the right position.
DeAndre Ayton got to make himself look like that, bro.
He also has to have the ball, which
Monty
Williams wasn't even playing, running plays for that man.
I've watched DeAndre Ayton with the ball in his hands put up 10 points.
hey, Hey,
in a game versus the Dallas Mavericks where he was getting clamped up by Maxi Kleber, I watched him get the ball quite a bit, and he put up 10 points.
Going curse at Monty because you ain't hooping.
Hey, dog, I got Ty Lue over Monty.
Y'all heard it. He got Ty Lue over Lonty.
I think Monty is a good coach. I think Ty Lue is a great coach.
I think what it is I think this is where you really see the value for Kawhi shine through, because the last couple of seasons it's been like, hey, the Clippers look better without Kawhi, and they kind of moving with Paul George. Just saying. So I mean, I think it'll be tough. I'll still have Phoenix coming out on top, because as good as Kawhi Leonard is defensively, it's KD. I think that the series kind of shifts when you start to talk about bench play, because I think Josh Okogie also went down in that last game.
He did.
For Phoenix, so I don't know what his exact status is, but I think this game comes down to bench play. Whoever's, and I know that Phoenix is a little bit depleted, but if they can just kind of stay the course a little bit, I'm not expecting them to outscore the Clippers bench, because like Kid always loves to mention, the Clippers got a whole nother starting five. If they try to just, stay steady and stay the course, I think that Phoenix will be able to pull these games out late.
That second unit is about to be monstrous. I mean,
Yeah.
you really look at it. They have everything you need to just make it this way. Like, I want you to really put this thought to mind. Ty Lue had 40 games where he didn't have Kawhi or PG.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're a playoff team. They're not a play-in team, they're a playoff team. They were losing games. Like, they were losing a lot of games. They were actually a little higher in the standings at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And now they lose Paul George. And without Paul George, we're still trying to sit here and say that the Phoenix Suns are going to struggle. It's not going to be an easy series at all. Like, I don't care how nuclear Devin Booker gets. I don't care how nuclear KD gets. Like, they can't stay on the floor the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't even want to put him in that situation. Chris Paul is a shell of himself. If Russ is sticking Chris Paul, Russ wins that matchup. With Russ hitting the side of the backboard and all, Russ wins that matchup.
Hey,
I think the
is.
question marks, a lot of the question marks come from their last game, though. I mean, you had the full Kings roster cooking, everybody cooking. Russell, Kawhi, 25 and 15. Russ had 25 and 7. Norman Powell chipped in with 29 and 5, dominating.
And Norman Powell's a monster.
And they struggled to beat them by 4. And it took 2 last-second buckets, and the Suns played nobody. Kevin Durant sat out. Chris Paul sat out. Devin Booker sat out. DeAndre Ayton sat out. TJ Warren sat out. If you want to throw him in there, Bismack Biyombo sat out. Nobody's throwing him in there. But just want to give him a little shot out there, but nobody's throwing him in there. Hey, how's he still in the league? Somebody said just because he's tall.
Bro, it feel like forever, bro.
Fam, I feel like he one of those players. Like, he's like, they say he's 30. I feel like he's one of those players that just keep coming up with a new birth certificate to prove that he's younger, because I feel like he's been in the league for 30 years.
I'm not gonna lie.
Didn't Jordan draft him? Ain't he a Charlotte pick?
I usually get him and Emeka Okafor confused.
Racist.
Well, I mean, he was born in 92. He legitimately is 30, and he got drafted in 2011.
He 30?
I don't know.
Did he like?
No.
He got drafted at 19.
How old was he when he came out?
19.
Hey, bro.
He got drafted at 19. It's been 11 years.
It don't feel like it.
I don't know about that. I felt like when Boban was up in that, what was that Adam Sandler movie? And he was like, yeah, I'm he said, how old are you? He's like, I'm 22. He's like, you seriously 22? Yeah, I'm 22.
You talking about?
And oh boy,
Hustle.
Hustle.
Yeah,
hey, his son walk up all of like 19. He was like, what's that? This is my son. He's 10.
10.
Be like Buddy on the bench warmers. How old are you? and 12.
But yeah, man,
take this 20 and get on.
I just feel like, right, like that's the real question with the Phoenix Suns, right? Like, or with the Clippers is they had nothing the last time you saw them. You had everything, and you struggled to beat them by 4.
Man, playoffs is different though.
Absolutely, 100%. But you're also not going, right. Like, I don't think there's a playoff advantage here either. You're not going into this with 2 guys that have done anything more, in my opinion, right? Like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook both been to the NBA Finals. I mean, everybody on this roster now has been to the NBA Finals. Kawhi Leonard's actually won a Finals. Kevin Durant has won 2 Finals. Kawhi Leonard has won 2 Finals, right? Like, you don't have an experience advantage here. You don't have the
advantage is I got more scores on my roster than you got. That's the advantage the Clippers have. Like, the Clippers go.
Do they
5.
though? You're talking about Kawhi Leonard. Is Russ giving you 25 and 7 a game? Russ not giving you 25. Listen, I love Russ. He's giving you 15 and 7. 15, 10, and 10. I was going to say 15, 7, and 8, but 15, 10, and 10. Okay. I'll always up Russ's numbers. I mean, and then who? Norman Powell? Norman Powell on a consistent basis?
That's it. I think it comes down.
Getting busy.
Eric Gordon is
we talking about dropping points, bro.
Terrence Mann is a guy.
He's just a guy.
Eric Gordon is a dog.
I don't think Terrence Mann's dropped 20 points since he's been on the Clippers.
No, that's cap, dog. Don't do that to yourself,
bro. I look up Terrence Mann numbers.
No, I think he's
Terrence Mann really rarely drops 20.
I think it was in the bubble.
Right, Terrence Mann isn't this elite scorer. Like, what are we talking about?
I'm not saying he's elite. I'm just saying, like, the ability to generate offense. I think Clippers have more guys who can do that, just because the Phoenix Suns are depleted. Like, they're so top heavy, it's ridiculous.
Even with them being top heavy, the Suns have 2 guys that can legit get you 25. And DeAndre Ayton, to me,
hey, that's 18? The taper off. And it's like, once we go over the cliff, it's like,
I'm not saying they have more. What I'm saying is, I think they're pretty even as far as scores go.
Gonna lock up Ayton.
But you know what though, I've said this.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there.
He's gonna lock up Chris.
I don't disagree with you there, but I mean, like, I don't know if Russ locks up. No, Russ might lock up Chris. Russ might lock up Chris. Russ might lock up Chris.
Chris is like 37, but he ain't LeBron 37. So it's like, nah.
Hey, nobody is LeBron 37.
Hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie. That series is gonna. Who cares? That series is gonna be fun. Who cares?
Nobody cares.
Listen, nobody cares, bro. I love. Barry Bonds is doing Royce. Did he hit it over the river? Like, I don't care.
Were they scoring or not?
Did he hit it over the river, bro? Like, this man hit it into an ocean. Hey, man, I think we got the first round pretty much covered. Well, who do you got? I don't know if we actually said. We kind of broke that game down heavily. I don't know if we actually gave a prediction. I got Phoenix coming out of that. I actually do. I got Phoenix coming out of that.
4-2 Phoenix.
I'm gonna go 4-3.
Nah, that's going 7. That's going 7.
I'm gonna go 4-3 Phoenix.
Man,
does Paul George make his way back? I didn't look at that report.
Maybe.
I don't
I mean,
know.
Paul George is back. It's been 2 weeks, ain't it?
He's supposed to be getting reassessed.
Oh yeah. So no.
If Paul George plays, I got 4-3.
But they got that. That's always that weird thing. It's like he's being reassessed. It's like, okay, does that mean like he's being reassessed to play, or is he being reassessed just to be reevaluated? So it said March 22nd. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. A day ago, latest reports, Paul George still remains without a timeline on his need to return to action. He was given 2 to 3 weeks on March 22nd and was expected to miss the entirety of the rest of the regular season.
If PG
but
plays,
it is not expected for him to continue to be back.
Because Paul George in that lineup gives you a clear defender on Devin Booker. You all match up more evenly, and then that's when more depth comes into play. The Clippers just have too much, and the Phoenix Suns have just made this nice trade. They haven't filled out their roster yet. So That's what I would be going for. I still got to go on
to
7.
fill out their roster. The roster full. Look,
Oh.
the roster's full.
Hey, figure it out.
Hey, they got a creative accountant comes into play. But Paul George tips that scale for me, but I still got to go on 7 either way.
Hey, man. That's our first round predictions. Appreciate you guys for showing love as always, man. We didn't talk about our top seeds because we have no idea who they're going to be playing. I mean, listen, like I hope the Bulls are playing the Bucks. Even so, it's still going 4-1. I'll tell you what, if the Bulls are playing the Raptors, it's still going 4-1. Or if the Bucks are playing the Raptors, it's still going 4-1. If the Celtics play Miami, now that's a different one. That's a dangerous one. If the Celtics play Miami, I don't know if Miami will win, but I tell you what, it might go 7. And that is the worst case scenario for Boston.
We're not winning.
That's the worst case scenario for Boston.
But Jimmy got smoke with them.
And then I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. Just on some quick stuff, Denver might get beat by either team that comes out of. Nah, they're not getting beat by the Timberwolves. If Denver play the Lakers, Denver might get beat.
Yep, that's a fact.
Yeah.
If Denver play the Lakers, they might get beat.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Right? Like the Lakers would have to lose to the Timberwolves and then play, and then beat the Pelicans or the Thunder. But if Denver play the Lakers, they might get beat. Everybody else Denver can beat. They should be able to beat Pelicans. Pelicans might make it interesting. Nah, they beat the Pelicans. They'll beat the Pelicans. They'll beat the Pelicans.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Fam, you can't. That would be an all-time upset because they legit were the 9th seed. You got beat by the 9th seed.
It's also Denver.
End it.
It's also Denver.
Sell the team. Sell the team, bro. Hey, man,
let's be real. Do you got
guys.
Denver winning the championship?
No. I don't even have Denver getting out the second round.
No.
All right, well, they might as well lose in the first.
I legit think. I mean, because
who would they? If we're not winning the champ, why are we doing this?
It would go. What is it? It goes 1-8, and then it goes
2-7.
2-7, right? So in the next round, you would have to play the winner of 6, right? So they would have to play the winner of 6-5, or I'm sorry, 4-5.
Yeah.
Or they would have to play the winner of 3-6, something like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Kings could beat them, the Warriors could beat them, the Suns could beat them, the Clippers could beat them.
Let's just say this. Thanks
that's all you need to know
for making it competitive.
That's all you need to know.
There's parity in the league, and that's why we don't know. But hey,
man, appreciate you guys for showing love as always, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. We also talk a little general NBA when it comes into play, because who wants to talk about the Bulls? Actually, we'll be breaking down the Bulls in a video later today on what the heck happened. What the heck happened with this season, man? But tune in with us on that as well. If you're listening on the podcast side, man, we appreciate those 5-star reviews. If you could leave one on the channel, drop that on Spotify and or on iTunes. I don't know if you could do a 5-star review on Google Podcasts. And if you're in here right now and you haven't hit that like button, your mom's a hoe. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. For the pettiest man alive and the man, the myth, the legend, Stefan Nadine.
Associated with that guy.
Stay safe.